welcome to the first episode of our new television program, Delaware Labor TV. I am your host, Karryl Hubbard, and I am the Secretary of Labor for the state of Delaware. As Labor Secretary, my role is to oversee a department that is responsible for providing resources information to the Delaware public in several key areas, including resources and support for employment and education, training, worker protections, unemployment insurance, specialized employment support for individuals with disabilities, labor market information and resources, and coming soon, implementing Delaware's paid family leave, where workers will be eligible for partial and temporary income support during eligible times, like the birth of a child. Our mission is to connect people to jobs, resources, workplace protections, and labor market information to promote financial independence, workplace justice, and a strong economy for our state. To learn more about what we do, go to our website, labor.delaware.gov. Coming up shortly, we're going to talk with some experts about the role that apprenticeship can have in the careers and lives of Delawareans across many different industries. To help with that, we will tap into our very own Division of Employment and Training experts, Richard Fernandes, John Quick, and Jazelle Plummer, will help us walk through the benefits of embracing apprenticeships as a tool for professional growth and upward mobility. Later in the program, we will also speak with Lindsay of Wilmington University about that school's efforts in promoting apprenticeship as part of their educational offerings for young Delawareans interested in pursuing fields that encourage apprenticeships. But before we get into apprenticeships, I want to talk briefly with you about an advertising campaign that we are very proud of and that has run over the last 10 months on multiple platforms. Some of you may have seen our cable television commercials. Others may have seen our roadside billboards, and still others may be learning about it for the first time today. Our campaign is called the Did You Know campaign. Its focus has been to expand the idea of what Delaware Department of Labor does to support the needs of our neighbors seeking to improve their employment circumstances. As I said earlier, our mission is to connect people to employment and training opportunities that can be life-changing for the better. Many of you may know us as the Unemployment Agency, but we are much more than that. In fact, the majority of the work that the more than 500 employees of the Delaware Department of Labor is geared toward finding opportunities for people that are looking to enter the job market for the first time, re-enter the market after being out for a variety of reasons, or are looking for information to help make good career decisions. It is these varied services that we provide through a myriad programs and services that make me so proud of the work that our colleagues do to support Delawareans every day. Throughout today's program, you will see some of our commercials that showcase the different areas of focus that we have and can help you or your loved ones find gainful employment. It is these commercials that are at the heart of our Did You Know campaign. We know that it can be challenging to get the word out about so many of the support mechanisms that we offer to the residents of our state. That is why we're partnering with DETV 28 to showcase all of the resources that our fellow Delawareans should be aware of. We think it's incredibly important that all of you and your families know that you have support in the Department of Labor. We want you to see us as your community partner in all things workforce and employment related. Our collaborations with the Workforce Development Board, the Delaware Contractors Association, the state's vast number of commerce organizations, and so many more groups represent how we can make a difference as a department in so many people's lives in Delaware. My hope is that this limited television series can help shed more light on some of the great information that you can use to make positive changes in your lives and those of your family and friends. We are excited to share what we do, and thank you so much for tuning in. When we come back, we will speak with my colleagues in the Division of Employment and Training about the role apprenticeships have in our workforce. We'll be right back. Delaware has made great strides in helping women find gainful employment in the skilled trades, and we've only just begun.
I was a single mother of 2 little ones, and Local 199 had my back. After I got this job, it seemed like my income changed double.
Definitely a lot of opportunities.
Higher wages for women means better lives for Delaware families.
The Delaware Department of Labor. Great opportunities and possibilities await, and here's where you find them.
Welcome back to Delaware Labor TV. Once again, I am your host, Karryl Hubbard. As promised, we are going to dive into the role that apprenticeships have in bolstering Delaware's economy. And as we have some of the best people to discuss the matter here with us today, we have with us the Director of the Division of Employment and Training, Richard Fernandes. Richard is joined by John Quick, Employment and Training Administrator, and Jazelle Plummer, Apprenticeship and Training Manager. Welcome all to the show. As promised earlier, I said I was going to bring on the experts, and we have our experts here from the Division of Employment and Training. First up is Richard Fernandes, the Division Director. Richard, I want to give you a few minutes to talk about everything that's done in your division, all the work that you do in our community, and if you could get us started off.
Thank you, Secretary Hubbard, for the opportunity to highlight some of our services and programs we have to offer. So our mission here at the Division of Employment and Training is to provide services and programs that enables both job seekers and employees make informed training decisions that lead to gainful employment. And to accomplish that, we administer over 25 state and federal funded programs. And we have 4 American Job Centers, also known as one-stop centers across the state, located at Wilmington, Newark, Dover, and Georgetown. And that's where we provide employment and training services to job seekers, employers, as well as training providers. We also work very closely with co-partners. We work with community leaders. We work with employers, businesses, as well as nonprofit organizations.
So it sounds like you work with on both sides, the job seekers and the employers. Do folks just come into your office and get services? And what if they don't have transportation? Is there a way for them to reach the Department of Labor?
That's a great question. Yes, so folks can visit our American Job Centers, but they could also call in. They could call in. The call-in number is 302-761-8085. We also have virtual services. We have over the last 3.5 years, we have managed to leverage technology to deliver our services to all 3 counties in Delaware. So that's an effective way of engaging with and connecting with our clients across the state.
Can you give us a little bit of an example of what kinds of careers or information people will get when they come into the office?
So an individual who comes in either virtually or on site has the opportunity to get a job service assistance. We have trained employment services specialists who would do an assessment. They would offer the opportunity to assess the needs of the customer. So we provide resume assistance. We offer assistance in terms of workshop assistance, where individuals can get trained in how to interview, how to apply for jobs, as well as part of our mission is to also assist employers. We host job fairs. We provide the latest state-of-the-art job posting as well as intelligent resume assistance.
So in addition to folks who come in, I know John works with a number of different providers who provide services to young people and to veterans. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that, John?
Absolutely. Thank you, Secretary Hubbard, for having me here today.
Absolutely.
We do. We work with our youth throughout the state of Delaware. We have over 15 youth providers that provide services between summer youth, year-round youth, in-school youth, and out-of-school youth. For our in-school youth, this is normally ages 14 to 21. Our out-of-school youth participants are ages 16 to 24. And then we have programs for those youth to transition into adult programs, non-youth based programs. And we also have programs for our veterans. Being a veteran myself, moving here to Delaware, not native here, I was not aware of these services, but now working for the Department of Labor, the amount of services we have for veterans both in our American Job Centers and outside can really impact. And I think that would help. Veterans are highly skilled when they leave the service, either through retirement or just normal transition. and they bring those skills out. And I think that's where apprenticeship would really tap into the veterans with their skills already and would help to bolster the workforce here in Delaware.
Absolutely.
Thank you, John. That's a great segue into apprenticeship. And we've got Jazelle over here to talk a little bit about that, how folks can access that here in Delaware, and just more about the process. Jazelle?
Certainly. Thank you, Secretary Hubbard, for having me this afternoon, and team. Registered Apprenticeship is a very special and unique program that we offer at the Department of Labor. It allows for job seekers to collaborate with our sponsors, who are employers across the state, to create the skill training and to provide the education that's necessary to work in the skilled trade occupations. One of the unique things about registered apprenticeship is that it is employer-driven. It is an earn while you learn model. Nowhere can you go to school and actually earn money while you're learning. You're upskilling where the skilled trade occupations come in. It's very unique. Most of the time, the occupations that you could otherwise engage in would be electricians, HVAC technicians, plumbers, pipe fitters, and the like. Most of these programs are about 8,000 hours in length. And then the on-the-job training component, which that is, and then you have related training and instruction. I almost wanted to say RTI. Want to get away from the acronyms,
Yes.
but related training and instruction would provide about 144 hours of training. And so those two combined is what a registered apprenticeship is. And it is a proven bona fide pipeline that really does provide the participants with sustainable careers and lifestyles.
Yeah, and we know that college is not for everyone, but apprenticeships offer a viable opportunity for family-sustaining wages. It's a great opportunity for employers to bring and sort of train their own folks up into the careers that they need in their business. So I really applaud the work that you have done in sort of broadening out the opportunities in apprenticeship. I know that, traditionally we think of plumbers, HVAC technicians, electricians, but can you talk about some of the other areas where apprenticeship is applicable?
Certainly. One of our desires for registered apprenticeship in Delaware is to not just broaden our awareness, but to step into those non-traditional trade industries where there's not a lot of representation for women and minorities and underserved areas. In the non-traditional spaces is where I think that we'll find our unique opportunities, like CNA. Like your phlebotomists or your pharmacy technicians. Those are some of the areas that are untapped. We are particularly proud, though, for our partnership with Wilmington University in our K-12 teachers, para-teachers education program. That is a step into what would be considered non-traditional trade. And it opens up the doorway for all walks of life. Anybody who's interested in teaching, they now have an opportunity to engage in apprenticeship. And that's, it's very, very unique and definitely a step in a great direction.
And I know we've got a representative from Wilmington University that we're going to be
Yes.
speaking with, so I'm very excited to get a deeper dive into that. But at this point, Richard, is there anything else that we missed before that you want to convey to folks about employment and training?
The Employment and Training Division, as I mentioned earlier, we manage over 25 programs. So one of the things is we assess the needs of our customers and we provide solutions that leads to gainful employment. So an individual may come in for, let's say, a job service assistance, but we have supportive and wraparound services to help them achieve those training goals. So we also have the pipeline where we connect job seekers with employers so that it leads to an interview as well as employment. So we've got a lot of moving parts which we try to get together and assist both employers, job seekers, as well as our co-partners.
And if I may, Secretary
John.
Hubbard,
Please, John.
Jazelle mentioned something very interesting about apprenticeship, is that you get paid to train. And with the veterans coming out of the military, full-time employment, a lot of us have families when we transition out. It's something that we can go into and still keep that income coming in, provide for the family. And really, veterans are getting out younger and younger these days, retention is down. And that would go right into the apprentice career field to kind of bring that age gap disparity down and closer, and bring in some new youthful thinking into the apprenticeship. So I thought that fact was very interesting.
Thank you for mentioning it, John. We have just culminated our youth apprenticeship week, which is the first time in 2024 that we've had an opportunity to work in that space and to develop programming centered around our young people. And one of the goals, one of the strategic goals is to reduce the average age of apprenticeship participation. Certainly, we have this idea that if we can get them started early, while they're in high school, focused on a skilled trade path, their trajectory is already pretty much set. You've got young people that are entering into the apprenticeship system younger, and they are ready. They're ready to take over and really contribute to workforce in a positive way.
And Jazelle, I really want to hone in on the issue of how does one get involved in apprenticeship?
Thank
What
you so
steps do they
much.
take?
Thank you so much for asking. There's a couple different ways that one can enter into registered apprenticeships. First, they do need to be employed. So we do need sponsorship by an employer for a participant to enter in. But it's also important to note that there are other pathways too, such as our local labor unions. Our labor unions are synonymous with registered apprenticeship and offer programming for participation too.
And do we help people at DOL to link with an employer?
Absolutely. We do have wonderful resources that are available for anyone that's seeking or looking for registered apprenticeship opportunities, especially as they relate to the skilled trade occupations that we offer. Certainly. And if that one would be interested in doing so, they could simply send us an email at apprenticeship@delaware.gov. I'll say it again, apprenticeship@delaware.gov, and both myself and our staff would be more than happy to connect them to the right opportunities.
Great. So I would like to link that thought and back to John when we talked about young people and the work you do with youth. Can you tell a little bit more about how young people can transition into work? I mean, some of the work experiences gained through your work really set people up well, set young people up well to get a job and to get the attention of a sponsor.
Yes. So our providers, they have detailed programs and training plans where they provide throughout the course of the training the resume assistance and the interviewing techniques and the dress for success part. And that transitions into the paid internships and the work experience opportunities for them during their program. And they are also in the schools. Our in-school youth providers are in the schools. So they can then link those students with the guidance counselors and with other providers that they meet and they know, and talk about that apprenticeship. And we've been getting more and more with the Workforce Development Board into the schools to work with the youth as well to spread the message of here are some other options outside of college. Myself with 2 children at home, one was definitely college driven, the other one is not. So what am I going to do with my son who is not college focused? And apprenticeship is a conversation that we have. There are options out there for him to get into apprenticeship or into the tech industry. So I think as we get the message out to our youth providers more and more about the opportunities, because that is a big question, not only with youth, but even the reentry, is what's next? What is my next step? And that is the message we're trying to get to our youth providers, to say there are other options other than college. College is a heavy financial burden, and here is a free option.
Yep. I think that those are really good points, things that we need to repeat and to our students frequently. I mean, there's no one path, for anyone We always talk about a job has no gender, and really it has no
Absolutely.
ethnic need or an ethnic background required for a job. So honestly, what we are trying to do is to get individuals to expand their horizons and understand that the Department of Labor is here to help you pursue your career goals, no matter what you look like or where you come from. There are opportunities out there. We work with employers every day who are longing for that perfect employee, and anyone in this state can be that person, and we're here to help you get there. So I appreciate this conversation. I want to thank you all for being here and joining today to talk more about this. And again, Richard, can you just wrap up with our phone number and website so folks know how to reach us?
Absolutely, Secretary Hubbard. So to get in touch with us, please call 302-761-8085. You could also send us an email at employment.training@delaware.gov, or you could just stop by any of our American Job Centers. As I mentioned earlier, we've got AJC's American Job Centers located in Wilmington, Newark, Dover, and Georgetown.
Thank you, Richard. And as we wrap up, I want to say once again, I'm your host, Karryl Hubbard, Secretary of Labor for the state of Delaware, and we thank you for this opportunity.
The Delaware Department of Labor connects Delaware employers to the qualified employees they're looking for.
We create that magic of bringing the perfect employee to the perfect employer.
Job seekers are looking for good wages, a future, good benefits, and an opportunity to grow.
JobLink is a great tool for employees and employers who are trying to connect.
Go to joblink.delaware.gov to find more qualified candidates and instantly upload your job opportunity for free. The Delaware Department of Labor.
There is help, there is hope.
And here is where you find it.
Welcome back once again. We are now joined by Mr. Lindsay Rice, Senior Director of Academic Partnerships at Wilmington University. We are especially happy to have Lindsay with us today, as he was an integral part of this partnership that we formed with Wilmington University, and he's here to talk about it. So with that, can you tell us a little bit about what we're doing with the Step Path program?
Absolutely, and thank you, Secretary Hubbard, for having me here today. The Step Path program, put simply, is a pathway for individuals that are in the trades to a college degree, if that's something they want. So in fact, individuals that complete a registered apprenticeship, on average, will receive 42 credits towards a degree at Wilmington University. One of those options is a construction management degree. And for context, 42 credits is about 40% of a bachelor's degree program. And you know, the question maybe of why is this beneficial? And you know, the idea of this, or not the idea, the input of this came from our colleagues at the Department of Labor, as well as the adult education divisions of the VOTEX, who brought to attention to us that there wasn't pathways to go from the trades to a degree if somebody wanted to go that pathway without them having to start over. So we did research around that to talk to school counselors, parents, teachers, employers, local unions, and what we found was two threads that were pretty common, and one was that there's a whole population of individuals, particularly youth, who are not even considering apprenticeship coming out of high school because they feel like they're forgoing the opportunity of college. So the Step Path really is a stepping stone for individuals that complete apprenticeship to a degree, but we also see it as a large step forward for individuals to recognize that it can be both. It can be both. You can pursue apprenticeship, you can pursue a degree, you can do it concurrently, you can do it at a later time, and hopefully that is going to better open up the conversation around apprenticeship so people don't discount that opportunity, because I can't think of anything stronger than an individual having a journey person paper in, say, as an electrician, and also a bachelor's degree.
Absolutely, it's the best of both worlds, really. And you know, over time, we know that an electrician isn't just an electrician. They're an entrepreneur, and the skills that can be gained having that additional education will help them in their career trajectory. Is part of this, the impetus for part of this?
Absolutely. So yeah, so a second thread to build on kind of what you're saying. The second thread that we heard was pretty common, is that there's a whole population in the trades that felt like they already forgoed the college opportunities, so they're not even thinking about that. And we got input from employers about different education that they need for their employees to be able to skill up into supervisor or foreman positions. So we built a construction management concentration, which is also a certificate program, comprised of courses focused in construction management, project management, human resources, law, leadership. And these are courses that are actually built by people in the trades that are qualified and taught by individuals in the trades to make it accessible. And without question, we want there to be a broader perspective beyond just being that electrician, because the varying employers, they're going to need people to be salespeople for them. They're going to need them to work in human resources. They're going to need them to work in project management, depending on the size of the organization. Or maybe they want to run their own business and looking for the skills to go into that. So that's a big part of this, is that as well. But I think what gets me most excited is the idea that we could have individuals, as Jazelle mentioned earlier, that could be starting an apprenticeship program as early as high school, at least the education component, getting a head start on that apprenticeship, and very likely could complete an apprenticeship program in, say, electrician or plumbing by the age of 25, and also have earned a degree. And imagine how that just transforms that workforce overall. Not that everybody needs a degree by any means in the construction trades, but I think this gives opportunity to really change the way people look at it. Not that everybody realizes that most professions that people look at today were considered trades: nursing, teaching, law, engineering. And some of those still to this day don't necessarily require a degree, but then there's plenty of opportunities and benefits for people that do go pursue a degree. They can be a nurse with just a nursing diploma. But many will go on and get a bachelor's degree in nursing or a master's degree in nursing as they want to advance into their fields. And I think we can see that evolution in a different context, but that same evolution could happen here. And without that pathway being there, it's never really been, I think, talked about or considered.
The one thing I always and have worked on trying to do is expand the notion of what is an apprenticeship. I think traditionally it's been father, son, grandson who's gone into the skilled trades. And it's my hope to introduce people who don't see themselves in those roles to those roles, because not only is it helpful from an earning perspective, but there's so many pathways to entrepreneurship, to high sustaining wages. And so how are you getting the word out about the program? And is it started? When can people apply? And how do they do all of that?
No, that's a very good question. So we have a website that I'll reference is wilmu.edu/trades that individuals can go on, and it walks them through step by step if they've already completed an apprenticeship, or if they're in an apprenticeship and they want to take advantage of this opportunity. All they need is their journey person certificate, and they can bring that to us, and we'll be able to apply those credits to their degree if they don't have a copy.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the collaboration with the Department of Labor and Wilmington University. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So, this has been a few years in the making, just because there wasn't a really clear pathway. So we had to do a lot of work and research, and the Department of Labor has been an incredible partner along the way in giving us insight into what is behind all the varying apprenticeships. I mean, it's not just an electrician or a plumber. There are, I think more than 20 different apprenticeships in the state of Delaware. And there was a lot for us as a higher education institution to learn, because there's a little bit of a gap, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to provide the right amount of credits for the work that's being completed. And the Department of Labor has been a great partner in that. They've also been a great partner in helping us share this information with all the interested stakeholders, or the stakeholders that are going to benefit from this. So we've been very fortunate. And, you know, I don't want to discount the collaboration that we've gotten from our adult education divisions of VOTEX, as well as employers and unions that have been providing feedback as well.
Great. Well, thank you for that. We look forward to our partnership. We find that Wilmington University is a very progressive organization to work with, and this is a great opportunity. As a personal note, my daughter is enrolled in community college and plans to complete her degree at Wilmington University in construction management technology. So it is something that is near and dear to my heart. And, you know, of course, I thought she was college bound. Well, she was college bound and decided she didn't want to be. So this is still, I'm heartened in the fact that she will end up with a trade, really good skills and opportunities to be flexible. If she wants to pursue, her career goals, she has that flexibility on both ends. So really excited about this opportunity and to work with Wilmington University on this.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So she plans to complete her associate's degree in the construction management technology?
Yes.
And, you know, if she chooses to pursue a bachelor's degree in Wilmington University, she'll obviously have that opportunity with the construction management concentration. Wilmington University, if you're not aware, has our STAR scholarship, which builds on the SEED scholarship. So if she's a SEED scholar, she'll be eligible for a 50% tuition reduction at Wilmington University if she comes to us. So that's just I don't know if it's a selfless plug there, but
but it's an excellent way to show how accessible these careers and degrees are, and we're making these things available for Delawareans, and really sets us up to upskill our workforce here in the state. So, pleased to continue to work with you all on those opportunities. So is there anything else that we should know about the Step Path program?
I think if individuals want to learn more about this, they can go to wilmu.edu/trades, or they can put that into Google, and it'll take them to that page, and it'll walk you through step by step how that works. You can also go to the Department of Labor website, or even email apprenticeship@delaware.gov, and they will provide you additional information and direction.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to the continued partnership, and appreciate your taking your time out to talk with us today. And I want to thank you all for tuning in today with Delaware Labor TV. We're excited to be here to fully explore all the opportunities there are here at the Department of Labor to help set you, your friends, your family up with the career of their dreams. And over time, you'll get to hear much more about what we do at the Department of Labor. So thanks for being here.